This is my 2016 Buick Lacrosse 3.6 liter. We believe it has the big brakes on it, and we're gonna try and swap them out.
All right, we're gonna get the rims off. Got the locking lug. Okay. Ooh, these are warm. Oh, shit. And that's Collin's shoes. He's lurking in the background. All right, let's just get turned now. Get a little access over here to the caliper. And this is a 14. Yeah, take the caliper off. Yeah, this pin, hex on the pin is a little too narrow for a regular wrench, so it happens that this adjustable wrench will fit it. So those are the two caliper bolts. All right, so caliper bolts are loose. Then we take a big screwdriver, find a spot where we can try to pry the pad back. There we go. I actually have a thing to push the caliper piston in, but if we don't need to. Shouldn't let it hang by your hose, but if you're gentle, it shouldn't hurt too much. Get the pads out. There we go. It's nice and loose. Oh, it's on here. Okay, two big anchor bolts, 21 millimeter. Anchor comes off. Pins are free. Rubber boots look good. We're going to change these anti-rattle clips. And now we'll get the rotor off. And since last time we did this, we put grease on the pilot, so that's why it's coming right off. Oh, and it's still hot. All right, let's see if this is the right size rotor. Otherwise, we've been wasting our time. So we verified that the rotor is the right outside diameter. We're going to put on just smooth rotors instead of the drilled and slotted. And this is way rusty. We're going to have to take some time to clean this up. So I've got the wheel hub filed and use that emery cloth to clean it up. The important parts are this outer rim. This recessed part here in between is not that important because the rotor doesn't actually touch that, but you do have to make sure that that is below the rotor. So there's some heavy rust buildup on here that I had to chip off. And then this inner surface, right up here through up to my fingernail, that's also an important surface for the rotor to sit on. So I'm going to hit it with a little brake clean. Get all the dust and loose rust off of there now. Pretty good. Make sure that your rotor doesn't have any coatings or, well, too much grease on there. You're going to get a little bit on there. And then line up the tapered hole with the threaded hole on the wheel hub. And actually what I want to do is I've got a little bit of this sill glide. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the pilot diameter. That'll help slow the rust down a little bit. The next poor guy that's got to take this off. Once again, T30. I'm going to put this tapered head screw back in. And this screw doesn't really have any function except to keep the rotor in place until you get the 4 lug nuts on. And then you actually don't ever really need it, but it just helps for the assembly process. So, okay, so the kit from Detroit Axle came with the new anti-vibration clips. And it looks like the clips are symmetrical. So there's 4 of these clips and it looks like they're all identical. So we'll take the old one off, it just kind of pops off. And we're going to clean these pads off a little bit. They tend to get a little buildup of rust on these key surfaces here. So I'll run the file over these. We just want to remove some scale, so I'm keeping my thumb with the pressure, keep it in the middle. Short motions back and forth. And that keeps the file flat across both of them. Okay. I'm going to put a little grease on here for there's no sliding going on here, but this just keeps slows down the rust. And if the rust builds up, it'll start to expand against the pads or the clips, and that will close the clips onto the pad, and it'll actually start to drag the pad. It should stay on there pretty well. And then the pad is going to run on these. I'm going to say 3 surfaces actually, but I'm going to put a little light film of grease on here. This is stainless steel, so this isn't going to rust. And the pad's not going to rust where it contacts because it's going to be sliding back and forth all the time, and rust does not build up on these contact points. Okay, ready to mount the anchor. Okay, anchor bracket and 2 big bolts. Okay, there's going to be 4 brake pads, and if you've got a good set, it's going to have one of them is going to have a squealer on it, which is this little bent bracket. And when that touches the rotor, when this pad wears down far enough, that will start making a squealing noise that quite a few of us are familiar with. That tells you that your brakes are getting thin. That one, I think it goes on the inside, because usually your inner pad's the one that wears the fastest, if any of them do. So I've already got grease on there. fighting me a little bit. Okay, got them on. Oh, big bolts. And these are big bolts, so don't be afraid to torque. Put them on there tight. Okay. The caliper. Okay. 2 little bolts. This one got easy. I'm going to do the little crescent wrench in the double box. You get the
Oh, yes. Yep, sure. So from a design standpoint, the top bolt up.
Okay, so this side should be all set to go. We just need a rotor or a wheel on here. Okay, so there. Okay. It's tight. All right. That finishes up this side. We're going to go do the same thing on the other side, so we don't have to show you that.
Just took it for a test drive, and so far so good. Seems like the squeak has been resolved, so we'll keep on driving, listening for any sound, and hopefully it's resolved.
And I hope you enjoyed the video.
And I hope you enjoyed the video.